Modern Mahjong's here with Back to the Basics. What happens after a tile is discarded? Let's say it's player A's turn. They're planning to discard a 2-dot. The tile is discarded by player A when they either fully name the tile or it touches the table. Note that we're discussing official National Mahjong League rules. Tournament rules vary, and so do other house rules. And usually in tournament rules, it only requires that the tile be named, not fully named. A difference would be 2 in a tournament would be named, and that counts, they are fully committed. At home play, 2-dot is when you're fully committed. Once a tile's fully named or touches the table, it's too late for player A to change their mind and do a joker exchange that they missed. Play goes to the right. A great way to remember this is player ends in R. The only thing that goes to the left in this game is pushing out the wall, and wall ends in L. Player B, C, or D can call that discard that player A just discarded. If player B doesn't want it, they will go to pick or draw from the wall. Once they move a tile from the wall, they are committed to picking from the wall and can't change their mind and call the discard. However, player B's pick might be interrupted. They could have their pick interrupted if player C or D call that discarded 2-dot. If that happens, player B puts the tile back exactly where it was in the wall. The next player to pick will get that tile that player B just saw. If this happens and player C or D call a tile, player B's turn is skipped. If player D called the tile, both B and C have their turn skipped. Once the claimant completes their exposure and then discard, if they don't have Mahjong, player continues to the right of whoever just fully completed their exposure. Now, people might be saying, but wait, if they already picked, don't they get the tile? There's something known as the window of opportunity to call a discard. A discard could be called until that window's closed, and there's many ways this happens. The most common is that the next player picks a tile from the wall and racks it, and we'll get into that tapping doesn't count. Other ways that it closes is if Mahjong's called, if player B picks a tile and fully names it immediately, or if they pick a tile and it touches the table, or if they initiate a joker exchange. So all of those other ways are showing you that racking is not required. Racking is only one of the way that ends the window to call the prior discard. So if you were taught that you must rack, it might be that your teacher wanted your class to close that window of to call the prior discard while making a decision. A lot of times new players will pick from the wall and just hold the tile in the air. So teachers will say, rack, rack, rack. Immediately racking your tile or not racking it is a strategy. It is not an official rule. If you disagree, please pause this video and go back a slide. Racking is not required. As we just discussed, there are several other ways to close that window to call the discard. You can close it without racking, but you cannot close it by tapping. Tapping does nothing but make a noise. Tapping your pick on your rack does not count as racking, and the league included that in the most recent Mahjong Made Easy in 2024. The discard can still be called. The definition of racking is when the tile is fully rested on the sloping part of the rack and that the player's fingers are taken off the tile. So if a player is holding the tile by their rack, they haven't let go, if it's not resting, that prior discard is still available. What happens, I hear you saying, what happens if someone racks the tile at the same time someone calls it? The tie goes to the caller. So if the 2-dot's down, player B picks up a tile, goes to rack it, and simultaneously call and rack, the caller gets it. When a player calls a discard, the first thing they should do is pick up that claim discard from the center of the table. And the reason we think this is best practices is technically your turn doesn't start until you have 14 tiles. So if you start exposing tiles from your hand first and then realize you misheard the tile or it was misnamed, your hand is dead because you'll have an invalid exposure. So you should always make sure the tile that you heard was the tile actually discarded, pick that up and place it by the rule back in the 2022 bulletin, flat top part of your rack. Then add tiles from the sloping part of your rack. While there's no penalty if a player takes a tile and claims it and puts it in their rack, Tournament rules, for the most part, will call your hand dead if you do that. So discards, remember, once it's seen, it should stay seen by everyone and be placed on the flat top part of your rack. Then you can add matching tiles from the sloping part of your rack to complete your exposure. Finally, if you have a tile in hand that could do a joker exchange, once that exposure is completed, you could do a joker exchange, you could declare Mahjong, you could discard any discard from the sloping part of your rack, even including that new joker. Once you complete your exposure and do a joker exchange, you, like we said, can declare Mahjong, can place the joker in the sloping part of your rack, or discard the joker or another tile. Note that in order to do a joker exchange, your turn must have begun. So you must have 14 tiles from either picking from the wall or claiming a tile and making an exposure. If you do a joker exchange before that, your hand is dead because you only have 13 tiles. Did you find this post helpful? What should we discuss next? We invite you to save your seat. We have wonderful events coming up in South Florida, and we're planning others in other cities and states. If you're looking for an incredible venue, an event, and different things to talk about Mahjong and Canasta, send us an email at modernmahjong@gmail.com or modernamericancanasta@gmail.com. If you're looking to improve your strategy for Canasta, we are doing a strategy session on January 19th. The way to register is by sending a $15 payment by Zelle or PayPal. There's nothing to do online, just follow up with an email. Save the date for our annual 2025 card review with Barney Glacio. This highly anticipated and well-attended event is going to definitely be full capacity. So be sure to read the instructions when you register. Reviews are in for our visual companion guide for American Mahjong in paperback and Kindle format. And did you know you don't need a Kindle? There's a free Kindle app you could download and you could use the book on your tablet or phone. If you're looking to learn Canasta or improve your game, check out Modern American Canasta, the complete guide on Amazon. And thank you so much for listening to this video. Check out our curated collection of Mahjong and Canasta gifts and accessories. We have Mahjong dice that are like jewelry for your tiles, beautiful gifts, accessories, and more. And with that, we invite you to stay connected. Like, comment, save, and share. There's so much information out there, and we teach and we share these visuals and create all these by official National Mahjong League rules. We want to make sure you're learning official rules and not how other people just happen to play, because then that can get confusing and tensions can arise. By recognizing official rules, it keeps peace at the table and encourages friendship and a wonderful day. We hope you have a great game and a great day.